Yeah.
You nailed it, because the interview I had yesterday was with my father, my dad, and we got into a great conversation. And one of the points that we got into was with, I don't know if you've read this book, but The Rise and Fall of the Roman Empire. And
I think I have
maybe
a copy of it. I could be wrong though. I have some
like
history book on.
Yeah, so I mean, in essence, it just talks about the beginning all the way to, the fall, and it lays out essentially where nations take a dive for the worst is when they, one, acquire so many resources that life is more on the luxurious side, as opposed to you just need to get your needs met. And so we allow ourselves to have a lifestyle where now we have all this technology, all this comfort, all this food, and now suddenly we are entertaining some things that we were never entertaining before because we got too much time. And so now you start to see these nations develop all kinds of new ways of entertainment, new sexual preferences, and the whole nine yards, to the point where, as a virtue, our rules for what we thought is okay and is not okay ends up getting wider and wider and wider, because why not? Because we can. Mm-hmm. And I see exactly what happened to the Roman Empire happening right now in the United States, like clockwork. Essentially, we built this great nation with resources and opportunities and a lifestyle that most people could never have. And you don't even get to do that much to acquire that lifestyle. And simultaneously, we're now finding out that we have, depression is through the roof. People's life purposes is pretty much almost non-existent for you to find somebody who actually knows what they're here to do, and they have a strong, mindset focus as to what they're here and what they got to do to, evolve into the person that they need to be. And so in many ways, one, I guess, do you see that happening? And if so, what do you think is some of the biggest contributing factors that's pushing us in that direction?
So I'm gonna switch the roles or the hats that I'm wearing again, and I'm gonna take the position of an outsider, no longer somebody within America, but as somebody who ultimately had to go through this whole experience, not actually belonging all the time. And so as a born citizen of the Republic of Kiribati, as somebody who's 100% Gilbertese, I would have to say that the fall of the American Empire, or the decline at where we're at right now, it's not completely lost yet, but we are readily eroding the critical pillars that are holding it up still.
Yeah.
And we're live streaming it the entire time. We're tweeting about it, or we're taking pictures of it and posting it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we're taking selfies in front of it. And so what can be done, I guess, would be one question that I think somebody would be remiss to not ask. I think we need to shore up our basic defenses. Education. We need to abolish the ignorance that comes from this excess, this rampant consumerism that encourages us to seek out pleasure from the most radical or exotic of sources. I think you're completely right in saying that there comes a point, like it's a tale as old as time. And as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we have built within our theology a something similar called the Nephite pride cycle. And that's you are righteous, you are blessed, and then you become lazy and idolatrous, and then wicked because of the blessings that you receive. And then with that wickedness comes suffering uh, and further pain, because you are no longer living in accordance to God's law. And with that comes humility, and then with that humility comes repentance, and then you are then blessed, and the cycle starts all over again.
Yeah.
And then in I think more secular circles, this is known as, or this meme is known by strong men create good times
Yeah.
create weak men create hard times, and hard times create strong men. And so the
Yeah.
cycle continues, and the decline of a civilization is exasperated by its own success.
Yeah.
We are the DJ Khaled meme, suffering from success. Um, and that's something that you constantly have to be on guard for. I love that your last guest was your father, because the connection with the family is one of the most critical components of keeping a community together, keeping a civilization running.
Yeah.
And if we're not returning to our roots, if we don't have a connection to the land, if our blood is not um, being sown into the soil of the country that we live in, we become rootless. And as we become rootless, we seek out these esoteric pleasures. We become these live streaming, Instagram posting, uh, TikTok dancing fools that
Yeah.
no longer are satisfied with the wholesome expression, the satisfied with the wholesome expressions of success, but we are now seeking out uh, serotonin from likes, or from
Yeah.
viewer counts, or whatever.
Trying to get that fix. Yeah.
Yep, yep. And so I think I take back what I said about it just being about education. As we shore up our defenses with families, as we focus on what's most important to us, and we try to build our own families, and we seek out companions with compatible values, and look to the future of building those families up together and having children of our own, and raising them in a similar manner, that will be the ultimate punk rock expression, if you will, against this global machine that seems to be crushing our souls.
Platforms at Appropriate Culture. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.